Hey, welcome back, comic fans. It's Mr. Q Comics back with part two of my latest dollar bin haul video. Before we get started, please do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe. For those of you coming over from part one, I think we left off finishing up with Justice League, so we're on to the M's. If you haven't checked out part one, go ahead and do that. This doesn't really matter. These are in alphabetical order here, so we did A through J in part one, and now we are finishing up, starting with the M's here. So let's dive into it. It's as I said in the last video, dollar bin books. Everything was $1 here from one of my local shops. Probably 2 months ago, something like that. So, all right, let's get to it. We've got Marvel Premiere number 3. This is a really rough copy. You could see pieces of the corners missing, but it's a classic story. Barry Windsor Smith cover and art, Barry Windsor Smith and Stan Lee story from 1972. So this is probably in the good range. I have a better copy, but I couldn't leave it behind for $1. This one I was missing in my run. Again, low grade, a lot of chipping, corner missing. Issue number 5. This is Mike Ploog on the cover, and it's the first mention of Shuma Gorath. We've got number 6 as well. Mike Ploog on the cover of that, and Frank Brunner art. Number 9, that's a Frank Brunner cover. And the interiors as well. Number 10, which is the first full appearance of Shuma Gorath, who I think is possibly the villain in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. I hear that is rumor anyway. See that on the Key Collector app. It's also the death of the Ancient One. We've got number 11, which is Doctor Strange's origin retold. Again, Frank Brunner on the cover and art. And last one, we got number 14. Nothing special there, but again, Frank Brunner cover and art. All right, so that rounds it out from the Marvel premieres. Got Marvel Superheroes number 16, which I believe is the first appearance of the Phantom Eagle in the Silver Age. It's Herb Trimpe on the cover and art, and a Gary Friedrich story from 1968. I picked up, they didn't have number 1, but they have Marvel 201 number 2, which is a John Romita cover, Gil Kane art, and a Steve Gerber story. And they also had number 3 that I believe is Gil Kane cover, Sal Buscema art, and Steve Gerber on the story. Master of Kung Fu number 38. This is the first appearance of the Cat, which I don't know much about Master of Kung Fu, but honestly, just using the Key Collector app here and picking out keys with some of these hotter titles. I got another couple of these, which I showed off in the last video. Morbius number 1, first ongoing series from 1992. So 2 more of those in the poly bag, which again, I find these in the dollar bin all the time. So I have snatched up quite a few copies. This I was psyched to find. I mentioned in the last video. One of my favorite things to do is digging through the dollar bins, looking for my favorite artists, and just finding obscure covers that I know nothing about. And in the past year or 2, I've really gotten into Dave Stevens art. This is Mr. Monster number 2. Really good shape. Looks like it's near mint condition. Just an awesome cover. I love it with the kids there wrapped around the hero. Fantastic. I mean, Dave Stevens normally known for his good girl art, I guess, the pinup style art, which of course I love, but I don't know, something about his art style. I just really like it. I love that cover. Fantastic. The purples, just awesome stuff. And I don't know all of his work, so it's kind of fun digging through the dollar bins and discovering it. And I don't really want to buy this stuff on eBay. I would just rather find it in the dollar bins. It's much more fun digging it out of the bins for $1. So there's certain books I want that I know I could go out and grab on eBay, but I just won't do it because I don't want to rob myself of the fun of finding them for $1. So, okay, these are some really cool pickups for $1 here. I guess early Silver Age, late Golden Age, Mystery in Space, number 43. These are pretty rough. This one had a lot of waviness. I tried pressing it out, which I am completely green at. So I got a lot of it out. And I think these are all Gil Kane covers. So I was surprised to find these for $1. I don't think they're worth a ton of money, but old books. Number 44, again, Gil Kane. This one's in rough shape. You can see some chipping here. It kind of looks like rat shoe or something, the pattern there. But, you know, normally you'd see that on the pages as well. So this one's probably my favorite. I like the purples. 51, got some sea monster coming out, grabbing the spaceship. I think that's awesome. Again, all Gil Kane covers there. So those are cool. All from the late 50s, I think 58, 59. Okay, this book has gotten some heat, in the past few months. New Mutants 18, I think this is the first full appearance of Demon Mare that's supposed to be in the movie, which has, of course, been delayed. Again, I don't even know when that's supposed to come out. December now, something like that. Who knows? They could just release that thing straight to streaming, I guess, too. So I have no idea what's going on with it. It doesn't look too bad. It looks kind of interesting to me. So I will probably watch it whenever it does come out. All right, this is a Power Rangers variant I grabbed. I honestly had no idea what it was. It just had a price tag on it that made me think maybe it was some sort of incentive variant. I know there's a lot of Power Rangers fans out there, and I couldn't even find the full details on the artist, so I just grabbed it. All right, next stack here. We've got ROM #1, and this is really, really beat up. Probably in good condition. It's got extra staples in it, so I am not sure. They kind of look like they might have been production staples, but I'm really not positive. But really low grade. It's the first appearance in Origin of ROM. This was just a cool cover. Secret Invasion Aftermath one-shot Beta Ray Bill. I didn't know who this artist was here. It is Marco, I'm gonna butcher it, Durdovich, I think. Yeah, excellent cover. I hear people talking about the Secret Invasion storyline possibly coming up in the MCU, which I've never read. I missed about 2 decades worth of story, so I think it's probably one of these stories I'm gonna have to pick up and trade and read up on. But I thought it was an awesome cover, and it's in excellent shape, probably near mint condition. Okay, they had a nice stack of Sergeant Fury, which I don't typically collect, but Silver Age stuff for $1, so I grabbed the stack they had, and these are really pretty rough, all in the good, maybe very good. There's a lot of chipping, a lot of brittleness on these, so starting with issue number 14 from 1965. I think this was the only key in the run I picked up. First team appearance of the Blitz Squad. And this is a Jack Kirby cover, Stanley story. Dick Ayers on the art. Number 17, which is the same team here. Number 20. Number 28. And I think on this is where Dick Ayers started doing the cover and art. And this is Stanley's story again. This is probably my favorite cover of all of them. Number 29. I love that. I love the colors in it. Again, Dick Ayers on that cover. Number 30. '31. And 32. Sergeant Fury on skis, machine gun in one hand, taking out the Nazis. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, we got Shazam, 100-page special, number 15. I don't remember if this is a key. I think it is. It's the first crossover of a DC character in a Shazam story. So I think prior to this, all the Shazam stories were kind of independent, not mixed in with the DC universe. So this is the first crossover. Probably in VG condition, not bad. She-Hulk number 27. I completely grabbed this just because it had a signature on it. I think it was the writer. I can't remember. I looked it up before. I can't even read the signature. Simon something. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone in the comments will know here, but I grabbed that just because it was signed. Couple copies of this, and this is Silver Surfer number 1. I think this is volume 2. I'm not sure. I can't remember what came out after the 70s run, if it was this or that 2-issue epic volume. I think that was volume 3, but very cool cover. I think this is a John Byrne cover. Yeah, good shape. Probably VF Nearman on both of those. So happy to find those. I think I mentioned this in the last video when I showed off the Ghost Rider number 1, but they had Sleepwalker number 1, which of course I have from my childhood, but I grabbed it again. It's every so often you see books like this go up in value. Like I couldn't believe when Darkhawk is selling for like $10 to $20. Sometimes it hits $20. I'm always just floored by that. So I grabbed another copy of that. Had to grab this. Smurfs number 1, of course. Again, childhood nostalgia. Who didn't? if you're, you know, my age, born in the late 70s, you know, as anywhere in that ballpark, you watch the Smurfs. So I had to grab that. All right, some more McFarlane. We got Spawn number 2, which is the first appearance of the clown. I got a couple runs of Spawn, but for whatever reason, I'm always short on number 2. So I think I have 2 or 3 runs, and I was missing number 2 for one of them, so I wanted to grab it. That's pretty good shape, near mint condition. Got a copy of number 10 as well, which I grabbed just because it was a newsstand, which you don't see a ton of. I don't know if this commands much in a newsstand. I know number 1 certainly does. So again, probably near mint condition. More McFarlane, Spider-Man number 1, which of course is all over the place, but for whatever reason, the black and silver seems to go for a little bit more than the others, especially in the poly bag. Got a copy of Amazing 308, which I of course have, but this one's in rough shape. Taskmaster on the cover. It's got a kind of a sub crease, which obviously it's not a sub crease, but you know, big long crease right down the middle. But McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run for $1. I will grab it even in pretty rough condition. So okay, down to the last stack. So probably 20 books or so. Got a copy of Spider-Man and vs. Wolverine number 1. This is the I think it's the death of Ned Leeds from 1987. Mark Bright on the cover. Copy of Star Wars number 2. This is the reprint, but it's in pretty good shape. Number 2 is the first appearance of Luke, Han, Chewie, at least in the story, not the cover. So I think I have all the reprints, but mine are really, really beat up. So some more Silver Age stuff, and these are in pretty decent shape. We got Superboy, which I don't typically collect, but number 87. Superboy number 98, which is the first appearance of Ultra Boy. First appearance in Origin, Ultra Boy. We've got number 114. And most of these are probably in the VG range. I have just started experimenting with pressing and doing more cleaning, so I did a lot of practice on these because they weren't too bad. Number 18, so pretty happy with these for $1. And last couple, number 119 and 121. So I think they had more of them, but I just kind of grabbed the ones that were in the 10 cent, the early Silver Age stuff that they had. Found another copy of this, which is a fairly hot book, Bob Layton cover. It's Super Villain Classics. Number 1, the Galactus Origin, which I think just is a reprint of multiple Galactus stories, you know, telling his origin. That one, it's got a big crease in it, so it's probably just mid-grade, fine condition. Couple more Silver Age books. Tales of Suspense, number 76. So this is the first cameo of Ultimo and the second appearance of Batroc, the leader. Again, same as with a lot of them, just, you know, brittleness, the corners kind of flaking off. Anything that's creased seems to be just kind of breaking off. And we got number 77 as well, which is in horrible condition. It's completely split, but it's the first Peggy Carter. Second appearance of first full and cover appearance of Ultimo. So I grabbed that, even though it's in really rough shape. Copy of Thing number 1, which is the origin of Ben Grimm. The Thing in his younger years on Yancey Street. Got a couple of Copper Age Thors here. Number 339, which is the first appearance in Origin of Beta Ray Bill's hammer, Stormbreaker, which still seems to go for decent money. Another copy of 344, which is the first appearance of Malekith. This was just one of these independent comic I just grabbed for the cover. Twisted Tales number 1. Kind of a neat modern, you know, Copper Age anyways, horror book. I think I saw someone showing this off on Instagram, so I recognized it. But they have a ton of indie books in there. When they put these dollar bins out, there'll be 2, 3 that are just, you know, Comico, Epic, all those kind of 80s indie lines, and those are the ones that seem to have the fun covers in them. At least there's a lot of Dave Stevens mixed in there, so I love digging through those and seeing what I can find for covers. So all right, we are down to the last few. This book was hot for a while, probably last year, maybe a little longer ago. What If number 13. The first time Conan is in the regular Marvel continuity. Yeah, this book was going for a lot when Conan came out, the new Conan series. It's out, I think that must have been last year sometime. So, I saw that book going for $40+ at one point. So, copy of number 35. This book also got some heat for a little. This is from the second volume of What If. What If number 4. What if the alien costume had possessed Spider-Man? So it's the first non-continuity appearance of the Hulk and Thor bonded to the Venom symbiote. This was just a cool cover. Again, love digging for cover art that I haven't seen. An Adam Hughes cover. I had not seen this. Wildcats, X-Men. I don't know when that's from. Got to be from the 90s, but definitely a cool cover. And another Adam Hughes cover from his Wonder Woman run, which I think I had. He had a bunch of them. I was trying to not rebuy everything that I already had for Adam Hughes covers. So I just grabbed that one I liked the best. And classic X-Men number 1. Not really worth a ton of money, but I do love the classic X-Men run. There's a lot of great covers by Art Adams. And this one's probably just my favorite. You got all the characters on it. I love his art from this time period. I know he's done some later work. I don't like his newer stuff as much. I love the, I don't know, it just looks more crisp to me, the mid-'80s stuff he did. So I absolutely love this cover. I think I have a whole run that I was planning on selling, so I just want to have a copy of number 1. So, all right, and finishing it off, we have got Uncanny X-Men number 156, which is the origin of Corsair, first appearance of the Akanti, a race of aliens described as space whales, which I feel like I saw this book on the Key Collector app recently as well, probably a few weeks ago. But anytime I find, X-Men books, these Bronze Age X-Men, it's one of the titles I'll always grab. Definitely good to have duplicates of. So, all right, guys, that rounds it out for the Dollar Bin haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you did, please hit the like button below and please subscribe. And I'll see you guys all soon.